Welcome to Hot Drama TV.
When spotlight and shadows collide, why Liu Yuning's possible role in Yan Sanhe matters more than anyone thinks. There are moments in the Chinese entertainment industry when a single rumor feels heavier than an official announcement. Not because it is confirmed, but because it makes too much sense to ignore. Recently, whispers began circulating online. Yifei may reunite with Xiao, and Liu Yuning could appear as the third-billed second male lead in the upcoming drama Yan Sanhe. At first glance, it sounds like another casting rumor destined to fade away. But look closer, and you realize this story isn't really about Yifei. It isn't even about Xiao. It's about Liu Yuning, and a crossroads that could quietly redefine his entire career. A drama wrapped in mystery and opportunity. Yan Sanhe is adapted from a popular novel with a loyal fanbase. Its story revolves around Yan Sanhe, a demon resolver who helps the dead release their unresolved obsessions. Each case peels back a human past filled with love, betrayal, guilt, and regret, until she herself is dragged into a larger conspiracy. It's dark, it's layered, it's emotional, and that's exactly the kind of story where a supporting character can steal the soul of the entire drama, which is why Liu Yuning's rumored involvement has sparked such intense debate. From singer to actor, and still under a microscope, Liu Yuning's journey has never been conventional. He didn't debut as an idol groomed by a major agency. He didn't enter acting with instant prestige roles. He came from music, built recognition with his voice, and then only after earning visibility, stepped into acting, knowing full well that every move would be scrutinized. In recent years, dramas like A Dream of Splendor Scroll, Shu Wan Yimeng, and Xiao pushed his popularity into a new tier. His name began trending not because of hype alone, but because audiences remembered his characters. And yet, with every success came a familiar refrain online. His costume looks awkward. Ancient styling doesn't suit him. He should stick to singing. For many actors, that kind of noise would be enough to derail momentum. For Liu Yuning, it became background static. Because if there's one thing his career proves, it's this. He survives by letting roles speak louder than opinions. Why a third-billed role isn't a step back. When news broke that Liu Yuning might play a third-billed second male lead, reactions were immediate. Confusion, doubt, even disbelief. Why would an actor at the peak of his popularity accept a supporting role? But industry veterans know the truth audiences often miss. Billing order does not equal impact. If Yan Sanhe truly stars Liu Yifei and Xiao, two names with immense industry weight, then this drama is almost guaranteed visibility. And within a story driven by psychological depth and emotional wounds, a well-written male supporting role could become the most memorable presence on screen. For Liu Yuning, this wouldn't be a compromise. It would be a strategic gamble, a chance to step into a high-quality production, shed lingering doubts, and deliver a performance that redefines how the audience sees him, not as the singer-turned-actor, but as an actor who happens to sing. Standing between giants. Sharing a project with Liu Yifei is no small thing. She doesn't chase traffic. She doesn't flood the market with projects. When she appears, attention follows naturally. Xiao, too, brings proven chemistry and dramatic credibility. If Liu Yuning truly joins them, he won't be protected by low expectations. He'll be compared scene by scene, frame by frame. And that's exactly why this role could matter more than any leading role he's taken so far. Because in a drama filled with stars, the actor who leaves the deepest emotional mark is often the one audiences remember longest. A test of timing and identity. At this stage of his career, Liu Yuning doesn't need more exposure. What he needs is validation through substance. A role that silences shallow criticism. A character that lingers after the credits roll. A performance that proves he belongs in serious, high-caliber storytelling. If Yan Sanhe truly becomes the big-budget, high-quality production many expect, then choosing to stand slightly behind the spotlight may be the boldest move he's made yet. Because sometimes the strongest presence isn't the one placed at the center. It's the one that quietly holds the story together. And perhaps that's the real story here. This rumor may turn out to be true, or it may fade away like so many others. But the conversation it sparked reveals something deeper. Liu Yuning is no longer chasing entry into the industry. He's negotiating how he wants to be remembered. And whether Yan Sanhe happens or not, one thing is clear. His next role won't just add to his resume. It will define the next chapter of his career. And audiences are watching. Liu Yuning. The quiet weight behind the applause. What many people forget is this. Liu Yuning has never walked an easy road. Before the cameras, before the costumes, before his name trended on hot searches, there was a young man who stood on street corners and small stages, singing into cheap microphones, not knowing if anyone would stop to listen. He didn't have a safety net. He didn't have a shortcut. What he had was a voice, and the stubborn belief that if he kept going long enough, someone somewhere would hear him. That history never left him. You can hear it in his singing, but more importantly, you can see it in his acting. Because Liu Yuning doesn't play characters from a place of comfort. He plays them from a place of having known struggle, of having waited for opportunities that might never come. Why he never rushes to claim the spotlight. When people question why Liu Yuning would accept a supporting role, they overlook one crucial truth. He knows what it means to stand at the edge of the stage. He knows that being seen is not the same as being remembered. For Liu Yuning, acting has never been about titles or billing order. It's about whether a role gives him space to tell a human story. One that hurts, one that breathes, one that stays with the audience long after the episode ends. That's why he doesn't chase first billing at all costs. That's why he doesn't argue loudly when doubt surrounds him. He lets time do the talking. The loneliness behind the costume. Every time a new drama airs, criticism follows. People dissect his appearance in costume dramas. They freeze frames. They turn styling choices into jokes. But rarely do they talk about the quiet resilience it takes to keep stepping forward anyway. Liu Yuning never publicly complains. He never turns criticism into drama. Instead, he returns with the next role, the next performance, the next chance to prove that depth matters more than aesthetics. That kind of silence is not weakness. It's endurance. If Yan Sanhe is real, this role is personal. If Liu Yuning truly joins Yan Sanhe, this won't be just another project. This will be a story about unresolved emotions, about people trapped by the past, themes that resonate deeply with someone who has carried his own share of uncertainty. A supporting character in such a narrative isn't there to shine loudly. He's there to break quietly. And if there's one thing Liu Yuning understands better than most actors, it's how to portray pain without exaggeration. How to let a look, a pause, a restrained line delivery say what words cannot. This is the kind of role where his lived experience becomes an advantage. Why audiences feel for him, even without realizing it. Some actors impress you. Others make you feel. Liu Yuning belongs to the second category. You may not notice it immediately, but when his scenes end, there's often a lingering emotion, a heaviness, a softness, a sense that something real just passed by. That's not accidental. That's the result of a man who understands what it means to be overlooked, doubted, and still choose to stay kind, stay focused, stay committed to his craft. Not the loudest star, but the most human. In an industry obsessed with traffic, rankings, and instant success, Liu Yuning's path feels almost old-fashioned. He builds slowly. He absorbs criticism quietly. He grows in plain sight, without demanding applause. And perhaps that's why his journey feels so moving. Because every step he takes forward carries the weight of someone who knows how easily everything could disappear. Maybe that's why this role matters so much. Whether Yan Sanhe becomes reality or not, Liu Yuning stands at a turning point. Not because he needs validation, but because he deserves recognition not for being perfect but for being real. And in a story about lost souls, unresolved regrets, and quiet redemption, there may be no one more fitting than Liu Yuning to remind us that sometimes, the most powerful performances come from those who have already lived the pain they portray. And here is where the story truly tightens its grip. Imagine this. If Yan Sanhe really moves forward, if Liu Yifei and Xiao stand at the center of the frame, then Liu Yuning will not be standing beside them by accident. He will be standing there by choice. This is not the moment where an actor proves his popularity. This is the moment where an actor proves his weight. Because in a drama built on unresolved souls, buried regrets, and quiet pain, the character that hurts the most is often not the hero, but the one who carries the consequences. And Liu Yuning knows consequences. He knows what it means to arrive late to the table. He knows what it means to be doubted even after success. He knows what it feels like to hear applause and still feel alone afterward. If this role is real, then it is not third billing. It is a test of whether years of restraint, silence, and persistence can finally be transformed into something undeniable on screen. Not loud, not flashy, but unforgettable. And perhaps that is why this rumor feels different. Because it doesn't promise glory. It promises truth. In the end, this isn't really a story about casting rumors. It's a story about timing. Liu Yuning is no longer chasing opportunity. Opportunity is circling him, waiting to see who he chooses to be next. He doesn't need to stand at the front to prove his worth. He only needs one role that reminds audiences why sincerity still matters. And if Yan Sanhe becomes that role, then years from now, people may look back and say, that wasn't when Liu Yuning became famous. That was when he became undeniable. Because some stars shine brightest when the light isn't pointed directly at them, but when they choose to stand in the shadow and turn it into meaning. And that is how real actors are remembered.